We're going to build a simple 2-page spreadsheet that makes it easy for your whole team to track all of their tasks in one place. You can see how many tasks per status are assigned to each person. You can filter the list to focus on your tasks alone, and collaboration through comments is super easy since it's all in Google Sheets. And by the way, if you want the knowledge, skills, and guidance to build even more like this, then you can meet and learn more from me using the link in the description. That being said, let's get to it. We'll start by setting up the design, colors, and general worksheet structure. Click here in this box, which is called the name box. Enter 1 through 1000 and press enter. This selects rows 1 through 1000, and with these rows selected, right-click on the row headers, resize rows, set the size to 30, and click OK. Then increase the font size to 12, click the Fill Color button, set the color to light gray 1, then set the horizontal alignment to left and the vertical alignment to middle. Next, select row 1, right-click, resize rows, set the size to 50, and click OK. Increase the font size to 14, bold the font, click the text color button, change the color to white, then change the fill color to dark blue 3. Then select column A, right-click, resize column, set the size to 50, and click OK. Finally, turn off the grid lines by going to View, Show, uncheck grid lines. That does it for the general worksheet design, so right-click on the tab on the bottom and select Duplicate. Rename the first sheet to Team and the other to Tasks. Let's begin with the Team worksheet first. Select cell B1 and type in Team Members. Then in cell B3, type in Name, then Overdue, To Do, In Review, and Done. Now, these 4 values represent the different statuses that you can assign to tasks. If you want more than 4 or you want different options, go ahead and make those changes now. This will be the easiest time to do so. Then once you're happy, type in a few names in the name column. You can change these later, but having a few for now will help us check that our formulas are working whenever we add them later in the video. Now for a little formatting. Select the headers in row 3 and extend the selection down to row 13. Then click the Fill Color button and select Reset. This gives you enough space for 10 team members. If you have more than that, then extend the white space down until you have enough space for your team. After that, select the table headers, bold the font, and set the fill color to light blue 3. Then select column B, right-click, resize column, set the size to 200, and click OK. Then select the columns for all of your status options, right-click, resize columns, set the size to 125, and click OK. Also, set the horizontal alignment to center. Awesome. The next step is to create 2 range names that will help us create some drop-down menus here in a little bit. Range names are just names that we assign to specific ranges, and they make it easy to refer back to those specific ranges at any time. To create the first one, select all the space for the names under the name column, then click in the name box, type in Name List, and press Enter. Now, if you click on the down arrow, you should see a range name listed here, and if you click it, it selects the range. Also, notice that the range doesn't have any spaces. Range names aren't allowed to have spaces, so I like to distinguish the words by capitalizing each one except the first one. Okay, now for the second range name. Select all of the status options that you've created, click in the name box, type in status list, again, no spaces, and press enter. You should now have two range names like this. Fantastic. That does it for the team worksheet for now. We'll come back at the end to add the formulas and finish the formatting. But as of right now, move to the task worksheet. Select cell B1 and type in task list. Then in cell B3, type in ID, due date, task, notes, assigned to, and status. After that, click in the name box, type in B3 through G, and press enter. This selects every cell in columns B through G starting from row 3. And with this range selected, click the Fill Color button and select Reset. Then select B3 through G3, bold the font, and set the fill color to light blue 3. Next, select column B, right-click, resize column, set the size to 75, and click OK. Also, set the horizontal alignment to center. Then, select cell B1 and change the alignment back to left. After that, follow the same process of selecting the column, right-click, resize column, and set the sizes for each column to the values that you see on screen now. Once everything is sized correctly, add in a few pieces of sample data like this. Next, click in the name box, type in C4 through C, and press enter. Click the More Formats button, which is the 1, 2, 3 that you see here, and select Custom Date and Time. Pick a date format that you like, or create your own. Personally, I like to have the month abbreviation, a space, the day, comma, space, and the full numeric year. And once you have it, click Apply. Now we're going to create drop-down menus for the Assigned To and Status columns. For the Assigned To column, click in the name box, type in F4 through F, and press Enter. Go to Data, Data Validation, click on Add Rule, set the criteria to drop down from a range. Then for the range, type in equals, name list, and press Enter. You should see the sample names that you added earlier. Then under Advanced Options, select Display Style. Personally, I like plain text, but ultimately it's up to you. Finally, click Done, and use the drop-down menus to assign names to each task. Now for the Status column. Click in the name box, type in G4 through G, and press Enter. Then under Data Validation Rules, click Add Rule. Select drop-down from a range, and for the range, type in equals, status list, and press Enter. Under Advanced Options, select the display style, and finally press Done. You can close the data validation window, and then add statuses to each task in the list. Okie dokie, let's finish up the formatting for the task table. Select B3 through G3, click the Borders button, change the border color to dark gray 2, and click this to apply an outer border. Then click in the name box, type in B4 through G, and press Enter. Click the Borders button and apply a left border and a right border. Then change the color to light gray 2, and click this to apply inner borders. Awesome. To complete the task table, let's add a filter. Click in the name box, type in B3 through G, and press Enter. Then go to Data, Create a Filter. Now, whoever uses this can easily filter by any of the columns. Let's clear that for now, And for the finishing touch, move your cursor over the gray line you see here, then click and drag it right below row 3. This keeps the headers in view at all times whenever you scroll down. Nifty, huh? Anyway, it's time to go back and finish the team worksheet. We're going to add the formulas to calculate the number of tasks for each person and each status. Start in cell C4 and enter the following. Equals, COUNTIFs function, move to the task worksheet, select G4, G, then add $signs to make this an absolute reference. Next argument, move back to the team page, select the first status in cell C3, then add a $sign before the row number. Next argument, move to the task page, select cell F4, F, add $signs to make this an absolute reference. Next argument, move back to the team page, select the first name in cell B4, and add a $sign before the column letter. Then close parentheses and press enter. Finally, use the blue dot you see here called the fill handle to copy the formula down and across. So how does this formula actually work? Let's take a look. The COUNTIFs function considers the status column and the assigned to column, and counts only those rows where the status matches the value in C3 and the name matches the value in B4. But what's with all these $signs? Well, we add the $signs to ensure the references update properly whenever we copy the formula down and across. The $signs in the task references lock both the column letter and row number, so the references don't change at all, which is what we want. We always want to reference the status in assigned to columns on the task worksheet. Now this C3 reference only has a $sign in front of the row number, so the row number won't change, but the column letter will change whenever we copy the formula across. And this is what we want because all of the statuses are in the same row, but different columns. And for the B4 reference, which refers to the name, the column letter stays the same, but the row number changes. And again, this is what we want because all of the names are in the same column, but different rows. And that's the formula and how it works. All that's left now are the final formatting touches. Start by selecting all the cells with formulas. Change the text color to dark cornflower blue 2. Click the Fill Color button and click the plus to create a custom color. Enter the hex code F9F9F9, which gives us a super light gray, and click OK. Next, select the headers. Go to Borders, set the color to dark gray 2, and apply outer borders. Select the whole table and apply outer borders. Then select the inside of the table underneath the headers, go to Borders, set the color to light gray 2, and apply inner borders. Now, this final touch is one of my favorite things to add. Notice how all the zeros make it hard to quickly see the other numbers. Let's turn the zeros into dashes. Here's how. Select all of the cells with formulas, click the More Formats button, and pick Custom Number Format. Then enter the code 0, -0, dash, and the @ symbol. Finally, click Apply, and it's so much easier to see all of the non-zero numbers. Awesome, awesome job. That does it for this build. But if you want to see more on how to use this spreadsheet effectively with your team, then watch this video next, and I will see you there.